Hello dear followers of my Alice Celebs channel, welcome to my channel. All the details are in my report. Before continuing, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on notification and like the video. Stay tuned. The world of celebrity news is shaken by truly shocking and emotional news. Actor Barıs Baktas, in a tearful statement, deeply affected both his fans and the public, announcing the loss of their baby along with actress Yağmur Yüksel. Baktas' words have, in my opinion, been etched into memory as one of the most heartbreaking announcements of recent times. The details shared about these moments clearly show how recent and how heavy the pain is. For me, the most striking point here is that both young people have faced such a great loss so early in their lives. While celebrity news usually focus on relationship breakups or project, this time we are faced with a much more human, much more fragile story. The words Barıs Baktas used in his statement reflect not only a loss but also a profound happiness. His tearful words, it's so hard to explain this, were, in my opinion, a pure expression of pain, completely devoid of any fiction or exaggeration. The actress' fragile appearance, in contrast to her usual strong and controlled image, made the reality of station even more palpable. On the other hand, the silence from Yağmur Yüksel's side is also noteworthy. I think the silence sometimes speaks louder than words. In such a situation, one doesn't know what to say. Perhaps the most appropriate expression is to say nothing. For me, the situation reminds us once again that even celebrity figures are human beings who can suffer just be like everyone else. The incident resulted gravity on social media. Fans tried to show their support for both celebrities with message of encouragement. However, I think there is an important balance here, a fine line between offering support and exaggeration curiosity. I believe that the sometimes boundary-pushing attitude of the celebrity world should be more careful in such a sensitive matter. This incident also brought back to the forefront the debate about how much of a celebrity's private life should be public. For me, the most critical question is, does even pain have to be shared, or should some emotion remain only for those who experience them? In conclusion, the tragedy experienced by Barıs Baktas and Yağmur Yüksel stand out as a human story beyond mere tabloid news. I believe this event is not just news, it's a powerful example reminding us of the importance of empathy, respecting boundaries, and respecting grief. For me, this is preciously the most important aspect of this story. Following this tragic news, it's very clear that Barıs Baktas' emotional breakdown wasn't just a momentary event, but the beginning of deep mourning that will extend over a long period. I think expectation of staying strong after such a loss became an even heavier burden, especially for those in the public eye. Because while every expect them to recover, a whole different storm is raging within them. Another point that caught my attention is how this process will affect his relationship with Yağmur Yüksel. Such traumas either straighten the bonds between couples or conversely make their fragile points more visible. I think the most critical factor here will be how both parties experience this pain and how much space they give each other. Because everyone grieves differently, at these different times create unexpected tension in relationship. The fact that various rumors are already circulating in the gossip columns is frankly disturbing to me. Speculating on a grief that is still so fresh, in my opinion, shows that ethical boundaries are being pushed, especially in such sensitive matters. Because some actors prefer to recover by dedicating themselves to their work, while others choose to completely withdraw and experience this process more internationally, which is the right approach, is entirely a personal choice. Looking at the comments on social media, I see a great wave of empty on the hand, but unfortunately there is also no shortage of unnecessary comments on the other. I think this shows us how quickly even grief is consumed in the digital age. While people offer support, on the hand, they continue to delve into the details of the incident. On the other, this contraction is quite thought-provoking for me. I think that as progress, even small distraction from Barıs Baktas will be amplified and interpreted. I believe this is the most difficult aspect of a famous because sometimes you just want silence to just turn inward, but all eyes constantly on you. For me, the real issue here is now will cope with the pressure. Will he choose to remain silent or will gradually share his feelings more openly? On Yamruk's side, there is feeling this situation is progressing much more into previously. I think there are some plans that no matter how quickly talk about them, will always be incomplete. Perhaps that's why Yüksel's preference for staying in the background is perfectly understandable. For me, this isn't weakness. On the contrary, it's a way of protecting her emotion. Another topic being discussed backstage in the role of the couple, close circle. In this process, I think this point critical support in times like this is genuine, sincere support away from the cameras. Celebrity may have people around them, but at difficult time it becomes much clearer who is truly there for them. I think the situation could be kind of seeing the thought process for Barıs Baktas and Yağmur Yüksel as well. On the other hand, this business world approach to the station will be noteworthy. Producers project agreement, all this usually process independently of emotion. However, I think that after such a great loss, professional expectation should take a back seat for a while. That's what I consider human. But in the world of celebrity gossip, this balance isn't always maintained. Another growing than social media is the storytelling of this event. People are reconstruction what happened from their own perspective. Sometimes even exaggerating. I think this is causing the truth to become increasingly blurred. Yet there is a very clear truth, a great loss for two people. Going beyond that is in my opinion, unnecessary, even bordering or disrespectful. Perhaps Barıs Baktas will give an interview in the future detailing his experience, or perhaps he won't speak at all. Similarly, Yağmur Yüksel will chart her own course, but I think the most important thing is that there shouldn't be outside interference in how they want to go through this process. Thank you so much.